Hey, welcome back to Someone.
Sailor Money.
Emma Montes.
And today we're going to talk about
K-pop Demon Hunters. Finally. Setelah takut banget.
setelah aku menjadi BA.
Setelah Gemat menjadi MLM-nya K-pop Demon Hunters. Thank you.
Aku lah brand ambassador loh.
Jujur.
Aku lah SPG itu. Tapi aku bukan SPG rokok, aku SPG saja boys.
Yar.
Period. But anyways, inti dari segala inti adalah we're talking about this, not sponsored by Netflix, but hello Netflix.
Hello.
We love you. Literally kayak kemarin juga pas kita ngobrol sama kayak teman-teman kita di Netflix, mereka pun nanyain gue, Gemat, lo udah nonton belum K-pop Demon Hunters? Terus kita fangirling. Oh my god.
K-pop Demon Hunters itu tuh Netflix original ya?
Yeah, it's a Netflix original. Jadi Netflix tuh ini tuh filmnya Sony. Jadi
Okay.
I think they're the same group atau mungkin kayak company or team yang bikin The Amazing Spider-Man.
Ya.
Di Spider-Verse itu. Karena mereka dari Sony. Nah, terus tapi kayaknya collab with Netflix, and that's why the show is on Netflix globally. Please check it out and let me know what you think, cause like I loved it so much. I watched it for the 4th time today karena gue nemenin Emma. Thank you.
Thank you. Karena Gemat tuh orang yang maksudnya you love anime, you love animation movies lah ya. Gue pribadi
Kau sukanya true crime.
gue kayak maksud gimana ya? Kayak mungkin gue nggak terbiasa dari kecil nonton anime.
Really? Oh, anime?
Pokoknya semua yang berkartun gue tuh nggak terbiasa sebenarnya. Jadi kayak gue nggak se-enthusias dan makanya nggak langsung dengar tentang si K-pop Demon Hunters ini.
Right.
Gitu. Tidak masuk ke algoritmaku ya.
Betul. Nah sementara gue tuh aja tahu tentang si K-pop Demon Hunters itu karena Netflix was posting about it, basically. Terus pas gue ngeliat kayak, wait, ini kok ada salah satu karakternya mirip sama Chisa.
Oh ya, benar.
Iya, si Mira.
Bahkan kayak semua hal yang kayak gue ngelihat, maksudnya karena kita berbagi FYP sih sebenarnya.
Yeah.
Kita berbagi FYP, jadi semua yang gematria kan masuk ke FYP saya, woi. Gue tuh kayak ngelihat banyak banget yang komen-komen kalau si K-pop Demon Hunters itu tuh rasanya tuh kayak XG.
To give you like a bayangan sedikit, in K-pop Demon Hunters, I fucking hate the title first of all.
Okay.
Cause like why the fuck would you put this like freaking SEO type ass title? Kayak I get it. It's about about demon hunters and like they sing K-pop because they're like settingnya di Korea gitu. Cuma kayak they could have fixed like a different whatever. Basically ceritanya adalah tentang satu girl group trio. Mereka itu bukan cuma pop stars tapi mereka juga demon hunters. So they try to keep the demons from eating and stealing people's souls by singing all these amazing songs. And the songs are amazing.
Ya, as amazing as our lips look at that. Gue kayak, sorry banget, gue kayak agak ke-distract dikit. Kayak same products but different
Results.
color theory. Kayak gue lebih nude, lo lebih kayak prominent. Anyways, tapi memang bener kayak sebenarnya mungkin mereka bikin kayak K-pop kayak specifically in your face kayak K-pop Demon Hunters tuh memang this is memang untuk teman-teman yang suka K-pop kali ya,
maybe.
suka kayak apa namanya the Hallyu Wave. Emang
Hallyu Wave.
I'm saying it right? Hallyu Wave.
Itu tuh udah kayak jargon tahun 2010-an gitu loh.
Jujur
Oh my
itu
Lord.
zaman-zaman Big Bang.
Iya, itu zaman-zaman lo suka K-pop.
Exactly. Gue sampai sekarang masih suka sih, kayak walaupun gue nggak mengejar konser G-Dragon hari ini, tapi
Ya. Hari ini dan besok kan.
iya hari ini dan besok.
Fun fact, gue hampir beli.
Gue tuh tadinya ada temen gue yang ngejual tiketnya buat lo. Bukan lo, tapi kayak dia ngejual tiketnya. Terus gue hampir nge-forward ke lo. Cuman terus gue kayaknya gue sama Gemat padet deh.
Gak bisa.
Gak bisa.
Gue juga tergiur banget tapi gak bisa.
Iya.
But anyways, back to K-pop Demon Hunters. Basically the story, gue tuh sebut sama titlenya karena jadinya kesannya tuh kayak, oh ini buat yang suka K-pop. Kalau misalnya gue gak ngerti K-pop pasti ntar gue gak ngerti. Girl.
Tapi ada yang ngomong kayak gitu ya, kayak maksudnya gue pribadi tuh kenapa memang belum sempat nonton karena belum sempat nonton aja kayak gitu kan. Tapi kalau yang gue kalau yang tadi gue nonton tentang kisah K-pop Demon Hunters, malah gue kayak find it kayak a little bit satire juga gitu loh, kayak semua cerita plotnya itu tuh kayak kinda like a commentary to the K-pop world juga gitu
Yes.
loh. Gue kayak
I love that you picked up on that. Karena nggak semua orang picked up on that loh.
iya, gue dari awal gue kayak pas they're not just
They're not
kata-kata
just
terakhir? Pop stars, but there are also hunters untuk membasmi si demon-demon ini. Gue kayak wait, is this a story about us? Are they is that a play about us?
Takut banget
Gitu, gue kayak pas ngeliat kayak ini komentari untuk K-pop juga sih.
Yeah.
Menurut gue, if you really pick up on it, gue juga kayak merasa misconceptionnya itu tuh kalau it's gonna be kayak banyak kayak singing, terus habis itu sama ini sih mungkin ya, tapi ini misconception gue sendiri sih. Kalau it's gonna be like a sort of like pasti ada love story drama gitu, yang ternyata enggak, walaupun setiap 5 detik gue kayak cuman nih jatuh cinta dengan dia, jatuh cinta dengan dia gitu. Tapi no, it's more about friendship ya. It's more about friendship, finding yourself, healing from your demons. It's really nice.
Dude, gila banget. I think, fun fact, si K-pop Demon Hunters ini kalau lo cari di kategori Netflix, dia tuh munculnya under kids category.
Really?
Because it's an animation. Dan gue setuju karena it's PG-13 I think.
Iya, banget.
Even though it's about demons and hunting and like fighting, it's just like watching like an animated film about like Power Rangers, I guess.
It's like watching Kim Possible gitu loh.
It's like watching Kim Possible, period. Jadi kayak it's something that you saw probably like on Disney Channel or whatever.
Yeah.
Message-nya tuh kenanya banyak again like the friendship, self-acceptance, self-love, and how to break generational trauma. How do you deal with how do you deal with societal pressure, especially you have like a certain job and image gitu, kayak sebagai K-pop stars and idols, banyak banget pressure yang mungkin gak kelihatan sama fans. Tapi what I really like the most about like them being a K-pop group is that they gain power and energy from their fans. Mau Huntrix ataupun Saja Boys. Karena kalau Saja Boys kan kayak they're literally like looking for their soul. Sebenarnya kalau Huntrix, did you see like at the freaking end, mereka kayak, oh my god, look at our fans, they're so cute. Tau gak sih, kayaknya kita break udah selesai deh.
Iya.
Kayak cukup deh kita breaknya, kayak kita semangat untuk bikin lagu lagi for our fans gitu. Jadi kayak emang kayak showing like the dedication that they put to their fans. Tapi that could also be kind of like a critic about like K-pop idols, because they're literally tiring themselves out for the fans.
Gue ngeliatnya pas ini juga kayak, oh my god, is this a play about us? Pas dia bilang kayak, you've released the song?
Yeah, already?
Terus kayak, oh my god, then it means it's time for promo.
We're gonna promo tonight.
Itu is this a play about it?
Itu jujur kritik juga tentang kayak the K-pop industry. Somehow like people picked up on it, how like these idols literally don't rest.
Yeah.
Kayak once they say, oh yeah, we're gonna take like a 3-month rest, whatever. No, they're actually like still working.
Iya betul.
Kayak
rest itu tuh rest from the public eye, but not like resting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I guess it's also a critic on that. But again, what I like the most is the vocabulary that they use in certain things. Kayak misalnya mereka tuh pakai kata-kata kayak patterns, demons, when darkness meets the light, kayak we can fix this gitu, atau kayak anything that's wrong with you is fixable. Atau kayak you can't come clean unless we fix things first, and then we can be ourselves and be loved as ourselves. Dan those types of messages yang gue resonate banget, and I think that's why I always cry during like the last song, karena kayak like I'm breaking free from like whatever it is that was like holding me back. This is me unapologetically, and this is basically my voice without the lies.
Yeah.
I'm speaking my truth.
Gue tuh sangat relate bukan sangat relate ya, gue malah justru banyak pick up banget di conversation antara Rumi dan Juni? Jinu. Ya, gue
Saja boys.
Saja boy. Gue banyak pick up on it karena kayak that's a tapi oke. Aduh, scattered banget otak gue. Tapi kayak
Baru nonton nggak?
baru nonton. The fact that ini masuk dalam kategori kids dan ada conversation yang cukup fundamental in a hetero or maybe LGBTQ relationships ya mungkin ya, I don't know, I cannot speak for that of course, but just stop with the gay allegation, thank you.
Carry on.
Tapi ada conversationnya gue kayak damn that is too real. Si ceweknya, si Rumi itu ada di dalam dinamika whatever that is between
Dia
those
dan
two,
Gino,
ya. Dia datang sebagai perempuan yang gue punya flaw, gue juga punya past. Tapi kamu punya past, tapi you're not like that. Let's fix this. Kayak ayo kita fix bareng-bareng. I can help you to set free. Si cowoknya itu tipe yang kayak gue punya banyak banget demon di diri gue. Walaupun dia tahu nih kayak ketika gue sama lo, gue bisa nggak mendengar nih demon-demon di pikiran gue. Ketika dia jatuh lagi dan dia mendengar demon-demon itu lagi dan the demon possessed him lagi, what does he do? Dia avoidant. Dia kayak, dia langsung cabut dari hubungan itu gitu. Sabotaging kayak whatever that is, like they plan together gitu kan. Dan gue kayak agak sedikit, gue pas ngeliat itu gue kayak damn that is too real. Karena kayak banyak banget cewek-cewek masuk ke dalam relationship sama laki-laki atau sama siapapun partnernya dalam posisi dimana kayak hey I can fix you, no I really can, like we can fix this. Sedangkan it is tanggung jawab masing-masing gitu loh untuk kayak face your own demons and everything. Walaupun ketika bersama kayak the demons are not that big anymore karena kayak you're not good but you're good for me, something like that. Kayak gue pas mendengar itu kayak
what is the feeling? I didn't tell you anything.
Tapi that's real gitu kan. Karena kayak they're good for each other even though mereka belum ada di good place. Tapi bukan tanggung jawabnya si Rumi untuk fix Gino.
Ya Gino.
Bukan tanggung jawabnya Gino juga untuk save
Rumi
from whatever that is.
Yeah.
Kayak gitu. Jadi kayak pas di terakhirnya Gino yang kayak di terakhirnya aja sih gue agak dikit kayak dia kayak you've given me my soul, now I'm gonna give it to you. Kayak kau diam dengan kencang.
Itulah romansa animasi loh.
Itulah romansa animasi. Tapi kayak itulah sore. Di titik itu itulah sore.
Kau sudah nonton belum?
Belum. Tapi gue udah dibocorin kayak tentang ceritanya. Terus gue kayak aduh.
Girl, you should watch it. Kayak next we should watch it together.
Nah,
I would watch it again.
That's the thing though. Kayak gue tuh
gue tuh
gak suka hopeless romantic masalahnya.
Ini gak hopeless romantic. Makanya you need to watch it.
Gue dibocorin dikit sih kayak.
Tapi itu perspektif mereka.
Exactly. Itu dia. Makanya gue kayak I don't wanna feel things. Gue kayak gue oh my god lagi retrograde sampai Agustus 11. I don't wanna feel things sampai Agustus 11. Yeah.
Okay.
It's in Leo. I'm a Leo, so it's a lot for me right now. But anyways, gue amazed sih, tapi sama kayak maksudnya I think the next generation gonna be kayak even more work than the Gen Zs. Kayak tontonannya aja bisa kayak gini. Gue kayak
Iya, ini kan animasi anak-anak. Gue tuh lagi bukan lagi ya, mungkin tahun ini gue dikenalin sama animasi dari Cina, judulnya Neza. Jadi itu tuh tentang kayak the spirits lagi, kayak ada yang good, ada yang bad, and then like there's war amongst humans, blah blah blah, and it's like so colossal gitu loh, kayak animasinya tuh kayak semuanya tuh gede banget, and like I just love what the human brain can do. I don't know, kayak ngeliat animasi makin keren tuh kayak ih gila sih. Apa ya kayak.
Tapi bagus banget sih. K-pop Demon Hunters ini bagus banget.
Iya. Stylenya tuh gue suka banget karena dia kayak ekspresi-ekspresinya kayak goblok-goblok gitu.
It's a little bit anime ya.
Iya. Udah pastilah.
Yeah.
And I just love the metaphor of again kayak all of us have our own like inner demons, and it's not apa ya, kalau misalnya if you keep ignoring it, then nothing's gonna get resolved.
Ya,
Kalau if
betul.
you keep hiding it, it's still gonna be there nonetheless. Jadi kayak might as well deal with it gitu.
Tapi at the same time juga kayak give in to your demons juga kayak that one sama sekali nggak help, kayak Jino kayak
Ya.
kan yang sebenarnya yang si Rumi bilang sama Jino adalah sebenarnya iya, you have that demon inside of you, don't give in. Sedangkan Jino kayak
Iya, karena dia udah terlalu lama, dia udah 400 tahun stuck in that mindset. He was a demon for like 400 years. Jadi kayak it's fucking crazy.
itulah hubungan mereka adalah trauma bonding gitu loh.
Mereka kayak how long have you been 17 for?
Yeah, exactly.
Edward Cullen moment.
Gue yang suka juga adalah ending di mana mereka tidak bersatu.
Yeah, because
kayak-
Gino sacrificed himself.
Tapi kayak you know how this movies kadang kayak bisa
Ah,
tiba-tiba
yeah.
kayak they resurrect terus mereka jadi kayak
Together.
the K-pop, jadi kayak it's win for everyone, tapi kayak ini enggak. Dan aku suka realistis yang seperti ini dan yang kayak ini tuh sama kayak A Normal Woman. Dimana gue suka banget endingnya Marisa Anita flee from the city, si Mila free from the city untuk sama dirinya sendiri.
Period.
Kayak tanpa significant other yang lain, ya udah kayak nggak semuanya tuh di resolve dengan hasilnya tuh dengan gue suka tipe-tipe film yang kayak gitu lagi, kayak gue suka ketika tidak ada happy ending. that's
Realistis aja gitu ya.
realis, dan juga kayak this is contoh bukti bahwa gue born and raised true crime.
Dasar.
Itu makanya gue
Everybody
kayak
go to jail.
iya, makanya tiap kali kayak gue nonton apa namanya film romance tuh gue kayak agak ya, tapi kalau misalnya nonton anime dikit-dikit cuman nih lu semua cuman
Parah
nih,
banget
cuman nih.
menurut gue. Kau stop. Kau bukannya hopeless romantic, kau hopeless lo. Kau ingin mereka ciuman dengan kench. Kau tidak boleh tuh, mereka masih anak-anak loh.
Tapi at least gue bener di Normal Woman. Gue kayak mereka akan nge-jakes, di depan cross itu.
No. Iya benar.
Iya bener kan?
Yang mereka akan ngejeks kan
Iya.
halal.
Cuman yang gue salah aja adalah Mila dan Hatta, itu aja sih yang gue miss. Gue kayak
Itu kau terlalu jakes. Kau tidak boleh seperti itu jakes. Oke. Okay. Back to K-pop Demon Hunters. One other thing that really stood out for me was the music. Okay. Karena it's not a musical, tapi emang kan mereka menjualnya sebagai K-pop. Jadinya they really use that classic K-pop formula untuk lagu-lagunya Huntrix yang the Demon Hunters, and also the Saja Boys yang the Demon Boy Band.
ya.
Lagu yang paling K-pop yang gue rasa sangat bubblegummy pop itu adalah of course Soda Pop. Dan itu benar-benar catchy-nya kayak mampus gitu. And you kind of get the idea why or like how a K-pop band or like a K-pop group could be so immensely popular just because of one song.
Iya bener.
It's literally like the trifecta of the catchy hook, the looks, and also the catchy dance.
Iya
Those
lagi
three.
ya, iya itu adalah formulanya ya.
Itulah formulanya. Dan kayak they really know how to fan service, even though they're demons, they're just hungry for souls. But itu bagus. Tapi lagu yang paling touching menurut gue adalah lagu yang terakhir itu loh.
Oh iya,
The song This Is What It Sounds Like.
pas di lagu terakhir kan si Rumi akapela dia sendiri. Anjir, itu kalau misalkan tanpa si bridge yang mereka abis solo masing-masing, terus abis itu nggak ada kayak second verse-nya, langsung hit chorus, pecah sih anjir, nangis sih.
Lagunya
Gitu.
sih bagus banget.
Bagus banget,
Gue
bagus
bener-bener
banget.
kayak gak bisa ngebayangin kalau misalnya nonton mereka live gitu ya. Wah pecah sih di stadion gitu, kayak anjir pecah banget lah. Apalagi lagu The Idol. Jujur lagu dari Saja Boys, gue tuh sukanya The Idol karena it reminds me a lot of Stray Kids sama 80s. Mungkin kalau misalnya Omega 3 ada yang memperhatikan K-pop boy bands, you know who those guys are. I went to Stray Kids concert last year. And it was just like amazing. Dan kayak the Demon Vampire Dark musicnya tuh kayak kena banget kayak dengan choirnya. Oh my god, I think that was like that song is a freaking masterpiece.
Ya,
Takedown juga bagus. Lo paling suka lagunya yang mana?
gue paling suka jujur duetnya Rumi sama Jinu,
Free.
Free, karena itu bagus banget.
Kaulah hopeless romantic itu Emma.
Bukan liriknya ya, tapi kayak oke, to be really honest, all of the songs yang lain tuh menurut gue agak terlalu draggy.
Oke.
Sama yang kedua itu adalah si lagu terakhir. Apa judulnya?
What It Sounds Like.
What It Sounds Like. Karena mereka kan bukan musikal, tapi kayak beberapa sort of like musical quote unquote, karena ada beberapa conversationnya jadiin lagu kan. Yang lain tuh kayak straight up lagu, which kayak kalau Soda Pop kan memang kayak ya memang konteksnya mereka lagi perform. Si Golden itu konteksnya juga lagi perform gitu kan. Tapi yang si duetnya Rumi sama Jinu sama yang terakhir itu tuh
a part of the dialogue.
Itu makanya gue suka banget. Apalagi yang duetnya Rumi sama Jinu, it's not too much, it's not too romantic. It's a very musical. Jadi itu pas, itu kayak fit, itu udah klop, udah kayak dah cukup gitu. Scene itu meant for the adults. Itu gue tahu banget ini kayak liriknya agak terlalu dalam sih untuk anak-anak sih. Sisanya yang lain kayak emang buat anak-anak itu that's my favorite song.
Jujur bisa banget sih kita deep dive ke liriknya, cuman in our own time, let us know juga kayak karena even Soda Pop lu kalau perhatiin lagunya, lagunya tentang eating human souls.
Iya, banget. Gue ngebacain si liriknya, makanya gue kayak
You're all I can think of every time I drink up. You're my soda pop, my little soda pop.
Gue kayak, keren sih, keren. Gue bisa melihat si K-pop Demon Hunters ini dibuat sama orang-orang yang betul-betul peduli sama karya ini dan intentional di semua sisinya. Bahkan kayak kalau perhatiin dari kayak tipe-tipe fans-fansnya yang ceritanya di capture, karena kan itu terus kan karakternya kan kalau lo perhatiin itu juga they're very intentional with the type of fans yang ceritanya mereka portray di karakter-karakter ini gitu. Ajuma
iya lucu banget Ajumanya.
Terus abis itu ada juga kayak
ada yang cowok-cowok guy itu jadi fanboys,
the nerdies the nerds. Terus abis itu kayak anak-anak kayak gue paling suka banget ada scene yang ini sih, yang anak kecil ngasih ke Jinu kayak Mr. Jinu, I made this for you. Terus abis itu you have a beautiful soul.
Meanwhile he's a demon.
Iya, meanwhile kayak kerjaan dia adalah
taking souls.
Even that kid juga gitu kayak. Mungkin proporsi yang pas adalah nonton K-pop Demon Hunter sebelum nonton sore. Karena biar lu belajar lah untuk kayak
kakak.
Iya, kau benahi dirimu dulu sendiri ya James. Kau let's deal with our demons. Dan gue suka, lo tahu ini gak sih piring Jepang yang retak terus ada
dikasih gold. Yes,
that's exactly it gitu kan. Kayak si Rumi juga ketika patternnya dia bisa
once she accepted herself, then patternnya berubah nggak jadi warna ungu pink lagi, tapi jadi kayak holographic gitu.
Iya, holographic biru, sort of like that. Iya, jadi
keren banget.
Bagus.
Yeah, basically I love also like the lore of like the pattern itself. Karena I think we all have these like patterns that we, I guess, do.
Yes.
Behavioral patterns gitu.
Sadar atau tidak disadari ya.
Dan in this context kan demons would have patterns basically. Dan kenapa they have patterns, I think it shows like the bad things that they continuously do from probably like one life to another or whatever. Dan the voice of the demon god, si Grima itu, it's just the sound of guilt.
Yeah.
The sound of guilt of us doing mistakes and making it into our identity. Sementara us as people, we can do good things and bad things. Not necessarily these bad things ini adalah identitas kita.
Betul.
Sementara Guima uses that guilt to turn people into demons, quote unquote, just so they get swallowed inside their own misery.
Yeah.
Jadinya mereka punya victim mindset, and once they're stuck there, they just can't get out because it's always in their head. I think in psychological terms tuh ada namanya catastrophizing. Jadi you always assume the worst already when you do something bad.
Yeah.
And you think because you do something bad, you're a bad person and you cannot be good.
Yeah.
You can't recover. So I like that and throughout the film ditunjukin over and over again with different people, with demons and people, kayak mereka benar-benar kayak di lure-in sama Gimanya dengan their own negative thoughts gitu. Kayak misalnya si Mira kan terakhir dia kayak, you don't even deserve a family. This is why you don't have a family. You don't deserve to have one. Terus yang si Zoe, you're just too much and never enough, but I can give you someplace that you will belong. Itu kayak manipulative shit banget gitu loh. Kayak, yeah, like once you kind of like realize it's all just like very bad, negative, sabotaging patterns, then you can really kayak get the true message of this film sih menurut gue.
Iya, dan semua kata-kata demons itu adalah lies by the end of the day, karena it's
not real.
It's not real, kayak dibilang you're too much for everyone, tapi kayak the fact that the girls never think her like that tuh, that's a lie itself, kayak gitu kan.
Exactly.
This is so nice. Satu karakter yang gue kayak lumayan agak kayak gue pantau lu adalah Celine.
Coy.
Celine gue kayak
Celine, by the way, Celine itu adalah sahabatnya mamanya Rumi.
Yes.
And they were from the Sunrise Sisters or whatever. Basically mereka tuh kayak the last generation hunters. K-pop idols gitu.
Dan si Celine ini, it shows how different generation show love.
Yeah.
I think it feels like karena apa yang dilakukan Celine tuh nggak salah sama sekali.
Bener. Actually.
Dan dia memutuskan untuk minta Rumi untuk keep it a secret and hide it, itu juga nggak salah sebenarnya.
Yeah, because that's what she knows how to protect her.
Betul, dan memang mungkin pada masa itu sampai di titik itu yang harus Rumi lakukan. Wah, gue yang agak berkaca-kaca adalah ketika Rumi bilang do what you have to do.
Iya itu sih.
Itu gue dari situ gue kayak tapi memang jadi yang berbedanya adalah ketika Rumi kayak ya udah do what you have to do, dan gak bisa, gue harus menerima lo apa adanya. Oke, so then terima gue apa adanya gue dengan demon gue. Gak bisa kayak mana lah
gak ngasih solusi loh.
Gak ngasih solusi, dan itu kayak it shows that sometimes the people that you love the most and the people that love you, they have their own process untuk kayak menerima demons di diri dia sendiri dan di orang lain kayak gitu kan. Jadi kayak nothing's wrong with that, but that's just life.
You know, there's just like one phrase that I really like when it comes to like trying to understand parents, is that the love that they give you is the best way they know how.
Betul.
So apakah benar atau salah? Ya enggak juga, karena that's the best they know how.
Yes.
And like with like the later generations, maybe we know better or we know more.
Yeah.
Jadinya their best is not our best gitu. Maybe we know better, tapi kayak because they don't know that, it's not in their time, then that's the best. And harusnya kita bisa make peace with it.
Ya, dan mungkin gak sih, our parents, the way they show love kadang tuh gak klop dan gak nyambung sama kita. Karena kita kadang tahu apa yang kita mau.
Ya.
Kalau lo udah kenal diri lo sendiri, ada baiknya memang kita memang harus belajar mengkomunikasikan ini ke orang tua sih. Kayak, hey, I'm this type of person, gue tuh tipe orang yang A, B, C, D, F, G, lalala, lilili. Karena orang tua kita tuh setiap hari berusaha untuk mengenal kita juga. Because even though they gave birth to us, like we're strangers in their lives. Jadi kayak, it's thank you.
Udah capek.
Gitulah, thank you. Tapi
I get where you're going with it. Kayak communication is needed, mau seberapa dekatnya lo sama orang tua atau mungkin sejauh apapun
gitu. Tapi at the same time juga kayak bayangkan kalau lo gak kenal diri lo sendiri. Bayangkan kalau Rumi gak bener-bener mengerti posisi dia di antara demons dan patterns ini, dan juga role-nya dia sebagai hunters. Kayak bayangin dia akan react tuh seperti apa. Makanya di scene itu tuh itu scene paling berkesan buat gue.
I think that was really important conversation juga sih. Karena itu kan kayak the first time ever kita ngelihat Rumi actually confronted Celine about her issues.
Yes.
Dan itu kayak udah build up dari dia kecil. Karena dia yang kayak, dia selalu ngasa insecure kan. Rumi kayak, do hunters kill all demons?
Iya.
Kayak, of course, even me, no, you're not one of them. Padahal dia half.
Iya,
Ngerti gak lu? Kayak
betul.
bedrot.
Betul.
It's something really hard to accept ya. Apalagi when you know your half is like wrong basically.
Iya.
Tapi again kan you can not let that define who you are.
Yes.
I think that's also like a very important message.
Betul.
And friendship is also like a really big message juga sih between like the Huntrix girls. They're just so, they mesh well together.
Iya,
They make a really good
banget,
group.
Banget.
And they're really good friends. And I would love to be their friend.
Period.
I would love to be the Saja Boys friends as well.
Gue pengen punya si kucingnya itu sih.
Dude,
I want to be friends with it.
sumpah. Gue tuh kemarin nanya ke siapa ya? Ke Kak Kaunita apa? Kayak, ada gak sih aktivasi K-pop Demon Hunters di Indo? Dari Netflix.
Iya, kayaknya mereka, I don't think they expect akan segede ini deh.
Yeah, I think so. Nobody really expect that. Kayak even like all over the world ya. Kayak maksudnya,
Iya.
gue kan suka nontonin reaction orang-orang di YouTube kan reacting to K-pop Demon Hunters gitu. Kayak literally nobody expected this to really blow up. But I think there's just this charm about it. The animation's really good. The songs are really good. The story is good. Konfliknya tuh juga kayak lumayan layered gitu.
Yeah.
Jadi I get why it's like really popular, and I get why I'm literally a fucking stan, and I basically shoved this film down people's throats.
Ya.
Period. Now, enough chit chat.
Yuh.
Kita akan melihat beberapa reels yang ada di grup chat gue dan sepupu-sepupu gue. Karena we're literally obsessed with K-pop Demon Hunters. Jadi kayak
Yeah.
kita selalu kirim-kiriman reels gitu, cause like they're so funny. Jadi ada reenacting.
I love it. Period. Hey.
F-nya digambar. Guys, I think my spin instructor concealed the whole movie. Ben.
Yeah, his mouth is wide.
The honeymoon has been sealed in Paris.
Kaget. Oh my god.
Orang pada nanyain kayak ada nggak remix?
Let's go Koko. Kamu pegang tangannya itu.
Aku akan meninggal jika aku ada di ruangan ini loh, Emma Montezuma.
Yay.
Mereka tuh selain banyak kayak lagu-lagu di remix tuh banyak banget tentang conspiracy theories. Mereka kayak ngomongin misalnya kayak The Saja Boys, kan mereka berlima. Jadi they each represent the element of a Korean boy band. And it's kind of like a critique as well. Jadi si Abby itu represents the K-pop industry ngejual badan
Oh yeah.
these boys, you know, like sexualization of the K-pop boy bands and girl bands as well.
Yeah.
Romance is basically kayak the parasocial relationship that the group actually makes with the fans, you know, because like we're always longing to be their romantic partners, gitu kan. Terus Baby Saja is also kind of like the babyfication of these idols. Misalnya kayak kalau misalnya lo Nuna fan, biasanya kalau misalnya lo suka sama Stray Kids, misalnya kan they're like younger than like the 40-year-old Nunas.
Okay.
Jadi kayak they're always like babying these adult men gitu, dipakein kostum macem-macem lah apa-apa gitu. Yeah. And Mystery Saja itu he represents nobody ever really knows what their true life or even personality is like actually, because they're just a product gitu.
Yeah.
So ada yang bilang kayak gitu sih. And Jinu is basically just like with charisma and looks you can just like basically do anything that you want.
Ada beberapa komen-komen kayak orang-orang tuh apa yang disuka dari K-pop Demon Hunters. This is from Reddit. Okay. So I don't listen to K-pop. I don't really get the face around it. I interacted with more toxic fans than healthier ones, and there are better songs with better lyrical messages and raps. But the association to the movie and the love and care given to the songs without it being corny and just a background music is great.
Iya, bagus
Itu betul banget. They incorporated a whole dance routine and even the song making process. So the song isn't just a commission piece from artists. The narrative is dependent on the songs. Itu dia.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a musical, even it technically is.
Yeah.
But maybe this is a birth of contemporary musicals. I don't know. Yeah.
We can
But
see next year as well, if you know what I mean.
yeah. Yeah, I think the pace of the film is what makes it fire. The timing of the jokes, cute or cliche. Oh iya,
Yeah,
itu timing of
cute.
jokes itu menurut gue juga kayak Yeah.
I've watched one reaction video di YouTube, dia kayak bilang kayak, oh the one that makes the jokes here they're not funny. So gue kayak
Yeah.
maybe just like different humor aja sih. But gue tuh suka banget ekspresi semua karakternya tuh on point banget. So I love seeing animations that really make the most out of animation.
Yes.
You know, like with the human expression.
Ada yang bilang ini benar dan gue kayak aduh gue setuju lagi kayak sometimes even gue kayak suka true crime dan gue suka kayak psychological thriller shit gitu. Dia bilang kalau K-pop Demon Hunters itu plotnya simple banget.
Ya.
Even predictable.
Ya.
Tapi simple itu best enjoyed by everyone even the kids.
Bener.
Dan kadang kayak dude it's not that deep.
Yeah,
Kayak
it's not that deep.
Mungkin kita jadi kayak menangkap film ini jadi kayak oh my god super deep gitu karena kayak ya kita berdua begitu aja gitu orangnya. Jadi kayak
I think the storyline
Gitu.
is simple, tapi kayak the underlying messages like from the symbolism and everything tuh ya deep menurut gue sih seenggaknya. Jadi if kids can really enjoy this film as like an animated film with like really catchy songs and like really cute pets, the adults, the parents, the supervisors, like we can enjoy the, you know, like the underlying messages,
Yeah.
you know, the life lessons.
it's currently number 1 worldwide ya.
Yep.
K-pop Demon Hunters. My
Terus kalau nggak
gosh.
salah kayak after kayak a few weeks, their songs already are on like global music chart, tapi gue lupa yang mana. Sementara no K-pop song is like real K-pop songs gak ada yang masuk ke global chart itu.
Really?
Yeah. So dan ada orang yang react dia bilang kayak, well I guess this is a sign that more K-pop groups should start making K-pop music again.
Iya,
Karena sekarang
jujur.
K-pop tuh, maksudnya sebagai a K-pop fan dari tahun 2009, lama banget.
Jujur
gila.
lama banget.
I took a break, guys. I took a long break, but I liked K-pop ever since Gen 2, and this is Gen 2 music. So the pop tuh
Iya,
Gen 2
betul.
music.
Betul.
I can find it like mungkin di dulu ada grup namanya Zea atau kayak B1A4 atau I don't know like Infinite, mungkin ada beberapa lagu bubblegum pop kayak gini ya. Orange Caramel gitu-gitu, but like they're really badass. I can hear a lot of like Teddy influences, kayak banyak sound yang mirip Meow sama Blackpink. That's from like right now Gen 3, Gen 4, I guess. And yeah, they're just like all really good. I think all the songs. Ada yang reminds me of Stray Kids juga, yang Take Down. No, not Take Down. Yang Huntrix show how we do it or something.
Yeah.
How it's done, done. Itu kayak lagunya Stray Kids yang Domino. Terus ada yang nge-remix, anjir bagus banget, bejrot.
Okay, I'm gonna share some fun facts about K-pop Demon Hunters. So actually K-pop Demon Hunters itu membutuhkan 9 tahun untuk dibuat. Guys.
Damn.
Ya, itu butuh 9 tahun. It was originally created for another project by her partner, who is a story artist and animator, who is best known for creating Kipo and Age of Wonder Beast. Lo tau?
Nggak.
For Hunter X, the early inspiration, Huntrix. The early inspiration adalah 2NE1, Blackpink, ITZY, Twice.
Yeah.
The film worked with the Black Label.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
Oke, jadi The Black Label itu tuh labelnya si Teddy Park, dan dia yang nge-produce Meow, All Day Project, Baby Monster YG ding, Somi, Taeyang gitu-gitu.
Yeah.
Tapi emang he's like the OG producer who created a lot of songs for 2NE1 and Big Bang.
Yes, dan bener Gemat sebagai K-pop sejati, Saja Boys itu the team drew inspiration from Tomorrow X
Period.
Together, BTS, Stray Kids,
80s. Oh my god.
80s, Big Bang, Monsta X.
Gue tuh bisa denger
Yar.
banget si siapa namanya lagu yang Idol itu dibawain sama 80s. Itu cocok banget. Atau Monsta X, karena mereka tuh punya kayak dark concept yang agak vampire-y. Jadi ya gue kepikiran banget sih.
Ternyata for Mira, karakternya Mira ternyata maaf banget Alphas bukan
Chisa.
bukan Chisa tapi
she does look like Chisa a
ya,
lot. It's
ternyata
like
ya.
fucking crazy.
Ternyata tanpa disadari.
Yeah, do you want to see a comparison of Chisa and Mira?
Gue sempat lihat sih di FYP. Itu kayak it's crazy, nanti kita taruh di sini guys.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
Karena kayak it's the same apa namanya hairstyle loh.
Yeah.
Guys.
There are Twice Easter eggs di dalam animasinya.
Bener.
Itu you can see Twice and Meow posters in the hallway of the backstage Idol Awards.
Nah, fun fact
crazy.
about Twice, jadi lagunya si Huntrix yang Take Down yang tentang Sandana Easy on the Ice, itu yang nyanyi itu adalah ada 3 member Twice yang nge-remake itu for the official soundtrack. Ada kalau nggak salah namanya Jonghyun, Jihyo, just my favorite, sama Chaeryeong. Girl, I don't know Twice like that. I'm so sorry. But yes. Oh yeah, terus another fun fact is jadi yang ngisi the voice actors of the Huntrix and Saja Boys sama the singing voices itu tuh beda.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Jadi kalau nggak salah yang jadi singing voice-nya Rumi, dia itu diwawancara, ditanyain tentang just like making K-pop Demon Hunters, and she was the one who made the demos for the Huntrix songs.
Okay.
And she didn't have to audition to be Rumi karena like the producers kind of like got used to her voice. Listening to the demos, jadinya dia yang jadi nyanyi di the film gitu. Meanwhile yang voiced Mira sama Zoe, they had to audition.
Of course Lea Salonga ternyata adalah
Celine.
Love her.
Lea Salonga, yes.
All the millennials know who Lea Salonga is.
Period. And also dude, kayak si Jinu, itu voice actornya namanya An Yosop. He's my boyfriend. And, jadi dia tuh main di K-drama namanya Business Proposal.
Oke.
Lagu yang dinyalakan saat Jinu berpapasan dengan Rumi.
Oh yang begitu
itu,
bahu ketemu bahu.
Itu adalah soundtrack Business Proposal.
Oke. They're so smart.
Yeah.
They're
Kayak
so
banyak
smart.
banget Easter eggs-nya gitu loh, seru banget.
Oh, What It Sounds Like itu inspired by Lord's Greenlight, of course. Kayak makanya it sounds so familiar sih menurut gue. Apa namanya duetnya Rumi sama Jinu tuh it's beautiful, beautifully written, beautifully performed. Tapi lagu yang terakhir tuh I like because it's so familiar. Tapi gue kayak ya mungkin mirip apa lah ya, of course it's Lord.
Period.
Your K-pop Demon Hunters for you. Rating out of 5 stars.
Out of 5 stars, I give it a 4.8.
Okay.
I really enjoyed it, you guys. I watched it 4 times and I literally made people watch that shit. My very recent victim. So
Yeah, and make it an episode.
yeah.
Gue terjujur I like it, tapi gue biasa aja. Jadi kayak 3.5.
Okay.
Tapi gue appreciate orang-orang yang membuat karya tersebut dan peduli dengan karya dia karena itu kelihatan dari Easter eggs-nya kelihatan itu bukan gimmick.
Yeah.
Tapi it's intentional. Kayak maksudnya kelihatan kayak it's funny and we wanna put that. Kayak si ketika yang tadi lo cerita yang adegan jatuh si Jinu ternyata itu soundtrack dari voice actor kayak sinetron voice actornya yang kayak gitu-gitu sih. Jadi I really appreciate, keren banget kalau aku bisa berjabat tangan dengan semua kru creator, semuanya voice actors yang terlibat dalam K-pop Demon Hunters. Kau keren sekali dan semoga karya-karya berikutnya juga as amazing as K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yes, thank you so much for watching this whole ass episode. Dan maaf sekali lagi ya gue bikin kalian ngomongin K-pop Demon Hunters, but no regrets. Thank you.
Nextnya kita akan ngomongin
yang lebih juicy deh.
Yang lebih juicy abis ini. Tapi sebenarnya kayak banyak banget sih yang juicy sih dari K-pop Demon Hunters. Cuman kayak setelah Gemet ngasih tau ini dalam kategori anak-anak, gue agak memfilter semua opini gue. Thank you.
Gak apa-apa.
I don't wanna sexualize the kids.
No.
Anyways, nextnya mungkin kayaknya seru kalau kita filmnya yang agak sedikit psychological thriller kali ya.
Maybe next time it'll be more dark.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's me. Period. Bye.